Hello, everyone. It's me, Amira Salam. I hope you're doing well. You're probably very shocked. What's going on? Why are they posting during the week? Well, we have a little bonus video for you. We do want to apologize. We did actually definitely feel bad about posting late, episode 2. So, this is to make up for that, and also because episode 3, we wanted to keep it condensed. It was a very hectic topic. We didn't want to put this in that episode. So, give you guys a little break, a little relaxation, and now we're back with this bonus video. Hope you enjoy. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And also, we have a very, very exciting episode for you on Sunday. So do not forget to stay tuned for that. 8 p.m. South African time. And without further ado, let's get straight into this video.
What's up?
Salam.
I'm Sam.
I'm Amira.
Welcome to
Girl, What's Wrong? Girl, What's Wrong is all-inclusive and not specific to any gender or non-gendered individual.
Warning.
Warning.
Topics discussed include So, we are past adolescence now.
Yes.
You're past puberty and you've gotten your period and all that stuff. You've got some hair, down there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're entering young adulthood.
Yes.
And what we're going to be going through here is identity statuses. Where are you and who the hell are you? And from those stages that you went through the development you went through
in adolescence.
Yes, in adolescence. What have you now become?
Yeah.
Or what are you becoming?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on whether you think you become something or you're always becoming. So I'm going to start us off. There is 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go through, let's see where you identify, and we'll do the same. Okay. So obviously, biggest challenge in adolescence, which we've picked up already from the previous segment, is finding an identity. And one response to this, in you finding your identity, would be, or could be, identity diffusion.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So what identity diffusion is a state of apathy.
Okay.
So you don't not care, but you don't care either. It's sort of a place of equilibrium between finding a belief system and not. It's like a place between that you found where it's not like you don't care about your identity. You're just apathetic towards it.
Like neutral?
So, like a neutral.
Okay.
But it's not even, the thing is, it's so extremely complex. It's not even like a chosen neutral, because that's even still a plan, that's still choosing to be neutral is still a proactive plan,
Yeah.
It's still a choice. Here, you just deal with things as they arise. And an example of this could be that although you know that there's all these different ideologies and belief systems, there's religion, there's just all these different ways that people are presenting to you that you should live, there's different cultures and all these things, you have no interest, or you're apathetic towards exploring. And what this produces is a diffused identity where you have none, but you also have one at the same time, and it's called identity diffusion. So I don't know if it's a good place to be, if you're wondering if you're there.
No.
I don't know if it's a good place to be, because although obviously I truly believe that it's my core mission in this world. If I'm going to choose to live in here, it's my core mission to find something I believe in.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys, but there are days where there's almost nothing keeping you alive. Literally almost nothing. And it's those things that those systems that you develop within yourself. It doesn't even have to be a structure, an institutionalized structure. Like, it doesn't need to be a religion or, conforming to society. It doesn't need to be anything fancy like that. Just your own system within. Just trying,
Yeah.
I value trying. I don't know about you.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely right now, in my mind state, right now, currently, I do think so. But I think pre my conversion, I converted to Islam in May. Pre that, I think I could kind of relate to this. I didn't really see an importance of knowing where I come from or my purpose. I didn't really, it really didn't cross my mind. Like, a lot of times when, I don't know, I would get into conversations with strangers, I don't know, it would always come up religion. And I truly just didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was specifically. I just didn't care. But I knew I didn't want to be there, to be involved in that. Like, I didn't even want to express my, at the time, atheist views. I just truly, that's just not a part of me. It's just, it's just not who I am. Like, I don't know why people, I didn't understand why people put so much, like, part of the pillars of life is, like, your beliefs. Just, like, I just didn't see the connection with that. I was just like, it really is not much. Like, I'm just floating through life. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I don't know what my future entails, but what's happening right now is happening right now, and I'm just going to deal with what's happening right now all the time. Not really look back or forward, just kind of deal with the current. And that's exactly where I was. So I feel like it does have some elements of identity diffusion. Yeah,
moving on to the next one.
Okay, so this next one is called identity foreclosure. So it's got a low degree of exploration, but a high degree of commitment.
Okay.
So how I feel like I can relate to this is when I was born into a Christian household, okay? So for me, Christianity was just like a thing that it was just part of who I was. I didn't really question it. I wasn't asking much questions about it at all. I didn't ask questions. I was just telling everyone I'm Christian, and like that's just who I was. But I wasn't like looking too deep into it. I guess I was just like, yeah, and when people started asking me questions about it, that's when I was just like, well, wait, I don't even know what I believe in. But apparently I'm a Christian, but like I don't even know if I am, at the time. So I feel like it can definitely be like a part of identity foreclosure, because like I wasn't exploring anything in comparison to my other sibling, who I feel like he definitely was exploring at the time. And I wasn't thinking much. That's also honestly a huge problem that I had as when I was growing up, was just, why don't I explore? Like, why am I so comfortable with with whatever I was dealt with at birth? Like, I'm not exploring that. What's that about? And like other people would.
And that could also be some sort of trauma you received during your stages of finding initiative. You maybe just defaulted to taking in whatever. Because maybe there was a guilt there or something.
I think it might be because I guess you could say I didn't trust myself.
Doubt.
The doubt was there for sure. I didn't trust. I mean, honestly, I could still currently say I still have a lot of doubt in that aspect, where I just don't trust my opinion on things. And it even happens with the smallest things, like with a TikTok. I'm watching a TikTok and I don't even allow myself to form an opinion before I go in the comments. I don't even allow myself to form an opinion, And that's like the root of it all.
Oh my word, actually, like like when what majority of the comments are going to be. When you're watching the video, you just know. Or you at least like sometimes you just had a negative thought, right? And you're betting on other people having the same thought. And as you're watching this, your sheep, your sheep tendencies wants to click on because you want some kind of validation. And I do this because, like, it's that good or bad. Like, you are looking at this person and you may, like, on the outside we're like, no, I don't want to laugh at this, it's not right. But you're like, let me hop on the comments and feel better about the fact that I actually want to laugh about it.
And then you agree with the
literally. And there's this thing on TikTok where it's like, ran to the comments. Why can't we feel what we feel and move on? It's because we want this justification as to, okay, it's okay to feel like this. And I think in this identity foreclosure, I think a thing to really emphasize on this is that it's premature commitment. It's not bad to become a Christian because you're born to a Christian home or any other religion or any other belief system in general, or any ideologies or anything culturally, anything, any beliefs. It's not bad that you take in what you were dealt, but it's premature. You can't commit to something you don't believe in, and if you haven't explored alternatives. And this means putting forth your belief system to a standard of critique that you would critique your worst enemy or your worst, or what you think is evil, let's say. And it's putting it, it's putting it to that same standard. Really grilling into your belief system and seeing what is it actually that makes you want to believe in this. Because if you're just saying you're a Christian, or you're just saying you're a Muslim, or you're just saying whatever, or I believe I'm a feminist, whatever, if you're just saying these things with just it's air, and you don't truly believe in it, that's not identity achievement. You don't have an identity. You've foreclosed somewhat of identity that you have taken from other things that you don't even understand. You know? So
and like I think that also just circles back to I feel like I just woke up recently, and I only started being able to develop my own opinions, and not like I never would ever develop my own opinions. Like, even just like in class, if someone was like, oh, what did you get for answer 3? I mean, I'm not like a stupid person, but I don't want to say it because, like, what if it's wrong? But you can tell me what you got, and then I'll say if I got the right answer. But I would be too scared. Imagine if I'm like, I got 5, they're like, are you freaking stupid? How did you get 5? Like, that fear is just so prevalent in me, of just people thinking that I'm like stupid, that I always just avoid in being the first person to say whatever it is, and being the first person to voice my opinion on a certain matter, you know?
Don't be afraid to, you don't have to have your life figured out. And I mean, we'll do a comment on this. We'll do a comment on these theories at the end. Again, they're just theories. But you don't have to have, rather don't commit than as opposed to having a premature commitment. Imagine when you're at a later stage of life, at a later stage of development, when we're questioning our past life and whether we have regrets and we're starting to face death, when those are our questions, when those are the things that are haunting us, imagine you get to that age, and it's so prevalent. Our older people are always warning us young people, like, don't commit. Explore, travel.
You're still young.
Don't marry young. Like, all these things, and they married, and they still married, maybe. But like, it's not that they unhappy or it's bad, but every single generation keeps on telling the younger one, explore, because you will get to a later stage and you will regret it. You will regret not exploring. So rather find something, find yourself,
find a home. I also, like, with my identity, I felt so like lost. Who am I? Literally, who am I? And like, just I feel like that question starts definitely stemming around like after high school. post high school, in my opinion, I've heard a lot of my friends also talking about like trying to figure out who you are, like, you know, your 20s, your early 20s, getting on from like 90s to 20s and whatever is the stage where you start questioning a lot of your stuff.
You know what, though? I truly think that it's a condition, it's the human condition. I think from us being born, we questioning what the hell this is and who we are. What is this sensation? How do I react to it? Why do I feel this? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is this? What's happening? And I think part of what's killing us as humans is that I don't believe that there's ever going to be a point where you truly feel 100% that you've achieved an identity that you truly feel is solid. And if you ever get to that point where you feel like this is solid, your belief system is solid, even then you're not fully matured, because maturation is understanding that you constantly have to be searching for better. And when you're too rigid, you become like a dictator. You become the Adolfs of the world, Adolf Hitler, because like you can't believe in something so much and not question it ever, like at any point of your life, because you just can't be too sure. You know?
I've like faced a lot of those people. You know, when you're trying to like have a debate, just even about religion, for example, you're gonna talk to. I remember when I was an atheist, I used to often get into debates with religious people, and I'll be questioning, you know, like having my questions like, how do you know he's real, etc. And like they would just often they wouldn't even, I don't know, consider the question. They wouldn't even be able to answer the question in the way that I felt that I wanted, or they wouldn't even be able to like consider like or get into the conversation that he might not be real. You know, that's just out of the question. If you bring it up, don't talk to me, get out of here. Like, of course he's real. There's no, they don't have like anything. They didn't have at the time, I felt, anything to back up the information that they were bringing. Like, you know, just the orthodox straight head first.
And obviously you don't, well, I don't know how you feel about it, but when someone asks you, why do you believe in this? And in me also in my journey with faith, when I was much younger and I hadn't connected with a faith, I also asked these questions. You need to realize that when people ask you, why do you believe in what you believe in, no matter how they ask it, if the intention is to like undermine your faith, even if that's their intention, if they're asking you, there's always a little bit of something in us, in people that don't have any sort of solid foundation, and they're seeing you, this person with a supposed one. They want to know, how the hell do you get to that? We want you to and I'm obviously speaking to a younger me, we have a little bit of hope that you will convince us. There's no one in this world, listen to me, there's no one in this world that doesn't want security and that doesn't want happiness. And you cannot, if you truly believe that your belief system is one that brings joy, and it doesn't have to be constant happiness without suffering, just a contentment, and it makes you feel centered, and it has changed your life. If you truly believe it, and you're not just in an identity for closure where you've just grown up thinking these things, and so you just inherited it and didn't question it. If you truly believe in it, I can tell you through my journey with Christianity that it's literally in the scripture that you can't keep it to yourself. You need to spread the message. And if you don't know how to answer this person's question, then you need to consult the book. And if you can't quite see, then you pray. But the message that is, I feel like, universal, just with any belief system, is that you need to know enough about your faith in order to pass it on. That's the only, you need to want to pass it on. And if you don't yet have that level of conviction to properly pass it on, if you don't have that level of conviction to properly pass it on, then you probably don't know enough, and you need to not claim that identity yet. It's still premature. You need to go back, try to find out what the hell this is, and then come back and bring it forth. And it's okay not to know everything. If someone asks you, why do you believe God is real? There is something inside of you that you cannot explain with words. And people know this. Supernatural activity is universal. Supernatural experience is universal. We all feel some sort of weird connection, cosmic connection with this world, and we don't quite understand this world. We don't know what it is. We don't know, are there other people? Are there other life forms? There's no one that knows. And so no one should expect you, at least, to know why you feel that there's a God.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, why do you feel that there are aliens? It's just something too big to explain, but you feel it. And try to pass on that feeling. You know, don't back away from someone trying to get a little hope out of you. Yeah. Everyone is just trying to find a little bit of hope. So anyway,
I remember back when I was an atheist, because I transitioned from being a Christian to being an atheist. And the reason that transition happened for me...
But do you think you were really a Christian, though? And not just identity for closure?
I know there was definitely a phase where I was a Christian. Yeah. There was a phase where it was identity for closure. But there also was a phase where I actually was like... I believed in God and etc.
Yeah. But like, were you going through the same processes like the way that you do for Islam, like reading through the Bible and the scriptures, that having study times and praying at the times that you're praying? I feel like with your Islam, you were more... Obviously, I didn't see you when you were... Because I remember you told me about a stage where you were very, like, you know, hands-on. And I just don't remember that part of our friendship. Like, us talking... Because we didn't talk really about emotions back then. But, like, do you think you gave it your all the way that you wanted Islam?
I mean, honestly, I think I'm pretty sure. I think at the time with everything that I was, well, maybe not. I don't know. Again, to explain it, there was this identity foreclosure that I had where I was obviously born into a Christian family, so that just was part of me. But then there was a stage where I was like, I think I was kind of trying to convince myself that I was trying to be the Christian, doing Christian things, reading the Bible, praying. And it did feel good. I did feel a connection somewhat, not as strong as I feel with Islam, but I did somewhat feel a connection. But the reason that I obviously left and went to atheism was because the connection that I felt wasn't strong enough. I feel I loved the sense of having a higher power that you can put all your burdens and you can talk to and etc. But I couldn't pass the fact that I just didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't pass the fact that because I remember like the 5 years that I was an atheist, I was just really upset about it. And I was just like, I really wish I believed in him. Because when I did believe in him or whatever, whenever I was anxious, I would pray to him and I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, if I'm stressed about something, pray and leave it in God's hands. He got it. He got you. And that's how I was. But then obviously with atheism, there's literally no one. You're on your own. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And it was... I just really wished... I remember I just kept on thinking, ignorance is bliss. If I just didn't think about it too much, I could have still had that figure. But it wasn't real, you know? Yeah. It wasn't as, like, real and as prominent as the one that I have now in this faith. So I think at the end of the day, it still wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah. All right. Yes. Okay. Moving on to... Identity moratorium. Now this is where I am at. This is delaying commitment for a while to experiment with alternative ideologies and careers or whatever else. It's a high degree of exploration but a low degree of commitment. So it says here that perhaps in the midst of an identity crisis, exploring many different options and asking the questions, but not committing and like sort of seeking a well thought out answer, if that makes sense. So after experiencing a crisis, you don't want to commit to anything. And a crisis, by the way, doesn't have to be something traumatic and wrong, as we saw in the last previous stages. It's just a psychosocial crisis, something that is enough, like, it boils enough blood inside of you that it makes you want to change, or it makes you want to restrain, or whatever.
It could be like the transition from high school to uni, something like that.
So just something big enough to amp up a need to change, or to deny. So I'm in the stage right here. I feel like I am and will always be a believer in God. I have a relationship with God that is beyond any type of thing I can explain. I've just been through the depths with him, and there was a time that I never got to a point where I didn't ever not believe in him. I just went through stages where I was mad at him for a decision he had made, or for something I felt I deserved and he didn't give me. But never ever, once you have found a connection with God and you truly know who he is, and not just chasing this feeling of like just wanting to have some sort of system to back you up. When you just want to know God, simply just to know him, not to get anything from him, just to simply get to know him, it's completely different. And I felt like, because of me getting to know him and just how good he has been in my life, and just with prayer, how good he is with answering and talking to me, I felt that I got to a point that my guilt started to come up. The closer I got to him, and the more I felt I was connecting with him, the more I felt it was just being illuminated how small I was, and how imperfect, and how, dirty I could be, or how ugly I could be. And having gone to also a church that I didn't feel properly then gave me counter thoughts, because obviously churches and any place where people gather to believe in one thing, we're people. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be, people are going to still be people. And that's the one thing you have to understand in every single setting where you all believe in one thing, whether that be in politics or even in school. Like, you all are being taught the same body of information. Just anywhere where you gather with people to hone in on one ideology, there's just always going to be room for conflict, because we're all different. And through the stages of psychosocial crisis, we've all developed different parts of ourselves, some more than the others. And so, because I felt like I was so incredibly imperfect, and I got to a point where, not like doing my bed, because like, you have to understand, part of being a Christian is denying yourself, and that means like everything you do to glorify God. And so if my mom wants me to do my bed, I have to, if my mom wants me to do my bed, you have to do it, because it glorifies God. Well, you have to do it, but like, you doing it not because it's for her, it's because it's for your relationship with God. So it's like every single aspect of my life felt like I was failing in it, because I knew who it was for. And although I love him, and I still do love him, I felt like I was losing myself in trying to become this thing that I can honestly never become. And honestly, it's not because of my relationship with God that I felt imperfect. it's because of my relationship with myself and my relationship with other people.
Yeah.
Me thinking and depending on what other people thought about me. And I did not feel that my, whatever, my church, my place where I found common ground in terms of a belief system, I don't think they really taught me just the agonies of fighting society and conforming, because I don't think they very that like extremely different in terms like the problems that we face at like all these communities that we build for ourselves. It's not different to the problems we face in society. And at least here in society, and no, not in society, I don't find comfort in society, at least here where I'm at in my life, I mean, I got to a point, anyway, let me finish off that. I got to a point where I then tried to so anyway, so that happened because I started to feel so incredibly guilty all the time. And the people in my church, just my peer group, I'm not talking about like the older generation, I'm talking about like the people I directly was in contact with all the time.
Yeah.
There was just I didn't feel any comfort, and I just felt judged, extremely, extremely judged, and I had to be perfect. And yeah, I got to the point where I wanted to end my life because I was trying to foreclose an identity, but in my heart's heart, I knew that this wasn't the identity that I believed a true Christian would actually be. Because if you don't love God, if you don't love God, or at least get to that point of what you think at least is love, and if you don't get to that point, you'll never just know how the world has twisted it.
Yeah.
You know? If you don't get to that point, you will just look at a group of people and just see the bad in it, And I tried so hard to foreclose this identity that the world had constructed about what Christianity is, that I lost myself trying to find myself, So identity moratorium, although it's good to explore, there are challenges in it. It's not, these are all have their bad and good and whatever, like exploring, it's not an easy task.
Yeah.
Foreclosing is much easier, I feel. Foreclosing is much easier because society loves people that foreclose on our identity.
They thrive on that.
If we can tell you how to be, like, we will be so happy. You'll be a success.
Yeah.
If you can conform, you will be a success. And if you don't conform, you're other. So moratorium is not easy. You're not easy for whatever. But like I'm not loose. I'm not just like whatever happens. Like I still have my value system, but I'm building it my way. And
yeah.
I refuse to, at this point, call myself a Christian because I know what it takes. I've read the scripture, I've read the entire Bible, and I've formulated, opinions on the things that I obviously was able to digest. It's a long book and you have to reread it to get it. But I know at least about how that lifestyle looks, and that is not my lifestyle right now. And so I refuse to call myself a Christian because I give it up to people that believe in something and they stick to it. And I know how hard it is, and I know you're doubting yourself every day and you're pushing yourself every day. It's difficult to go against what society thinks is normal. It's difficult, and I'm not living that life right now. Which is why I'm saying that I am in moratorium, but I hope at some point I feel And I do. I feel closer to home. I mean, I'm still like unable to like freaking do the simplest things. Like I can't do. I struggle with doing my bed, and obviously she knows this. I don't have to tell her this, but like I'm telling you guys, I struggle to do things like do my bed, and we talk about this.
Yeah.
Like get up in the morning, brush your teeth, go to gym, do your bed, eat healthy. That's just so difficult for me.
No, same. Honestly, like it can. I mean, I guess. I think I'm getting a little bit better, but still, like, just the bare minimum.
Like, I literally envy people that can do all, that have schedules and stick to them.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me. Like, so you just wake up and then you literally, like, imagine waking up and then getting out of bed and going to brush your teeth and shower, and then you get dressed. You're not going anywhere. You're dressed for the house. And then you go, it's 7 a.m. Let me go make some brekkie. You know, Mom, do you want some? Okay, let's make some. Huh?
I don't know how people can do that on a daily basis. Are you stupid?
And it's just like, okay, I'm gonna make a smoothie for my morning jog.
Bro, like, are you stupid? So, yeah, like, I'm definitely exploring with my identity. I know what I want in terms of I want a balanced lifestyle.
Yeah.
And especially when I have a family one day, I can't be like, having a breakdown because I can't do my bed, you know, because like children obviously want attention as well. So yeah. I know that I need to get myself in order somehow, but I am exploring and I want to find.
But that's exactly it. You're going through that struggle. That's inevitable. That's supposed to happen to get to the next stage.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
So end us off.
Let me end us off with this one, iffy opinion on it, but it's the ideal situation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called identity achievement.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if you fall into this. Doubt it. Let's see.
If you are, comment down below to prove us wrong.
Comment down below.
Yes, or DM us if you're uncomfortable. But identity achievement in the name pretty much means that you feel that you have achieved, you've accomplished your sense of self, and you're able to clearly direct your efforts through thinking through various possibilities. So pretty much this is where you have a high degree of exploration and a high degree of commitment. Pretty much it could be associated with like higher self-esteem. So
ooh.
Yeah, high self-esteem. So it means you're confident within yourself, confident within your opinions. You know that you, for example, if you're religious, you are certain that you believe in the higher power that you believe in, and you are committed to it. So in why can't I talk, dude? I don't know why I'm getting so anxious.
Read through it, something.
So this can be achieved by a process of active exploration and strong commitment to a particular set of values, beliefs, life goals that have emerged. So I feel like this is like you've gone through all of those. You can't get to identity achievement just like that, or I don't even know if you can. But
I don't think you can.
I also don't think you can because change is inevitable. It's the only constant, in my opinion, or honestly, that is what it is. So sorry. Yeah. It's the only constant. So, I mean, identity achievement, maybe if it includes the fact that you're open to change and you're comfortable with that.
I guess. Because, I mean, firstly, let us say that according to Erickson, personality is just a response to psychosocial crisis. That's what personality is to him. It's how you respond to crisis.
Yeah.
And your personality forms a huge part of your identity, as well as obviously it's all about the surroundings and how you act to it, right? So I think that, I mean, if you think you have, the thing is, like I said earlier, if someone is certain that their identity is rigid and solid and it's a success and I found my thing. Me. This is who I am. This is my purpose and this is all I was meant to be.
Yeah.
There's so much problems in that, because
Yeah.
isn't that like the crux of the issues with today is the fact that people are so certain that that person's inferior, that person's this,
Yeah.
they are wrong, that is that. And I mean, I know it says here that a person that has achieved, identity, a solid identity, they have certainty in their belief systems. But I think that is the opposite of what, like, let's say, religion specifically. I can tell you that you will find that if you truly are not just religious in terms of just institutionalized beliefs, if you truly are faithful and exploring, this your chosen belief system, you'll find that it's all about doubt.
Yeah.
It's all about something called faith, and it's all about hope. It speaks a lot. All of them universally speak a lot about faith, hope. We hear all these words, conviction. Why would you need to be constantly convicted and constantly faithful and hopeful if it was like so obvious it was certain?
Yeah.
It
wouldn't, if there was legit, like, say if literally God is like standing right here,
Yeah,
who's gonna question that? He's right there.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many people that are questioning it, because there's that,
Yeah, and you need to. You know what? I can tell you. Obviously, I can speak only on on what I have experienced in Christianity.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that God is literally always asking for. There's just a constant theme throughout the scriptures of him asking people to ask. Just ask. Ask, and you'll find me. Ask. And if you are foreclosed in your identity, you will think that religion is simply something that is taught to you and you just obey. Does God exist? When someone asks, does God exist and why do you think so? He just does.
Yeah.
He just does. But why? He just does. That is actually the opposite of, if you obviously identify as a Christian, that is the opposite of what the scriptures actually encourages. It's always encouraging you to question and ask. All the figures in the scriptures, there's not even one story that is in the Bible that is not them questioning and not them making a mistake and doubting God.
Yeah. Similarly with Islam also.
Yeah.
One of the key things is knowledge. Always learn.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the Quran, or it doesn't have to be anything. You can learn the Bible. Just always be open to learning new things and, questioning.
Questioning, yeah. So you can't use religion as an excuse. Because I may not know other religions, but I'm speaking from just the one I've experienced again. But if you're a Christian, you cannot say that, I've achieved identity because I know for certain that you don't know anything. And that's what your relationship with God is. It's beautiful because you don't know everything and he does. And you guys can exist in the space where you're in symbiosis, where everything that happens with you in the world, the way you experience it and see it, is in symbiosis with the creator of it. And you too are just a creation.
Yeah.
So, identity achievement, if this theory composed, as Amira said, of an aspect where it was like, it's ever, achievement is constant achievement, like, and you can reward yourself. Like, I know that I struggle every morning with doing my bed, and that is an achievement because I know that's who I am. That's part of my identity. I don't know what trauma. Honestly though, like, guys, I'm not kidding when I mean, I know a lot of people struggle doing their bed because it's just like annoying, but I really struggle. Like, it really caused conflict with me and my mom. We weren't speaking for like a couple of months, and we were very close because I just wasn't doing my bed. What do you washing on time? and wash the dishes on time. I guess those three things could not do it. Could not. And whenever she would reinforce that I do it or punish me for not, I felt like my autonomy was being taken away. And I don't know, well, now we do know why, from my childhood, but like, yes, but even those things, identifying with your weaknesses, like I'm certain that I will struggle with that every morning. I'm certain that I will struggle with trusting people because of the trauma I've been with, the stuff I've dealt with other people. Those are consistent parts of my life, and I feel like I did not know that a couple years back. I didn't know why I would cry every morning when my mom would tell me just to do my bed. I didn't know why I was being so dramatic. But now I know it's because of something inside of me that feels like my autonomy is taken away when someone tells me to do something in their time, So I think that's identity achievement. That's identifying something that has formulated this thing that's existing right now, which is just, like you said earlier, what was it? A what of connections with people? I think on TikTok where you said it's a Maya something of like identity or personality is like a collection of our interactions with everyone.
A mosaic.
Yeah, of all our interactions with people. Whatever this system is that has been developed by my environment, my biology, my generational, circumstances, just everything. I feel like I have achieved a little bit of more knowledge on how to make this system happy. And to me, that's an achievement. And I'm going to be achieving for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, I'm having a panic attack. I don't know why.